Hope you guys are doing okay. Let me start the volume. Okay, hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to start the Zoom for Friday, September 3rd. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to get to today, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Today, first of all, we finished notes over what was an inequality. So let me go ahead and share that with you first and go over the notes with you. 1 second. We're not going to worry about graphing inequalities today just because I want us to first know what an inequality is and work on solving it, and then we'll work on graphing it next week. So it says to solve an inequality, follow the same steps as solving an equation. And I'll post this today as well. It says there's one key difference. When you multiply or divide by a negative number, and this is on both sides, okay, you must flip the sign. And what that means is this is an inequality sign. Okay, this says that negative 4x is greater than or equal to 24. I was just showing students that was the right way. I actually messed this one up. But that's what that means. So if I divide by a negative, in this case, I'm going to have to divide by -4 to get the x by itself. Then as soon as I divide, I have to flip that sign. Okay, so now instead of greater than or equal to, it's less than or equal to. So to see if this works, you'll see that right here. It says that the answer to any inequality is an infinite set of numbers. So this x is less than or equal to -6 literally means any number less than or equal to -6. Let's try that. Let's just try -7. So if I have a -4 times a -7, that's +28. Is 28 either equal to or greater than 24? Yes, it is. So it's true. Does that make sense? So we'll come back to graphing next week. I'm going to do some practice problems with you guys, but first I want to talk about what's in Google Classroom for you. And I will post the notes I just talked about as well. So give me just a second to get back to that screen. Okay. Okay, hopefully you can see that now. Let me go ahead and, oh, wrong screen, sorry, 1 second. Okay, hopefully you can see that now. So I posted a few things in here I want you to know about. This is your formative. If you're quarantined and you're not sick, then you're welcome to take it after you go over the notes today with me. I didn't really want you to take it before then because we haven't covered what an inequality was, but it's solved using the same steps. I had a lot of students that have wanted to change the sign. You can't take out the inequality and put an equal sign. You solve them the same way, but they're still very different, okay? Here's today's warm-up. It's only 2 questions, and it's all about solving an equation, okay? So skills that we had previously learned. Once again, I've posted a Zoom video every day. This is the first set of notes. Here's the notes from yesterday, and then I'll post the notes from today. But this time I'm going to just attach it to the Zoom video because I really want students to be watching the Zoom videos, okay? Just a reminder, I'll be posting that and I'll stream that through YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and stop share for just a second so I can share my document camera again. And I'm going to work these problems. So I hope that helps, just so you can see me work them. Okay, you're going to see these kind of problems on your formative. Okay, remember your formative is scored on a 5-point scale. If you get a 1 or 2, you have to redo it. If you get a 3, 4, or 5, you don't. But a 5 means that you know the skill, you've mastered it, you didn't have any other errors. A 4, you mastered the skill, so you know how to do it, but you had some minor errors. Maybe you didn't like flip the sign or something. A 3, you're really close, you're right there. 2, you're not quite there, and you made a lot of errors. And 1, you haven't shown any growth. So that's that. If you have questions about that or your score, let me know. I'll be giving those back out to you guys on Monday. Virtual students or students that are quarantined, I'm going to send you your score, but it'd be really nice if I could go over with you, maybe on Zoom or something, okay? All right, let's go ahead and work these practice problems. So the first one says, r divided by 10 plus 4 equals 5. So just a reminder, our goal here is to isolate the variable. We're going to work these all the same way, and we're going to use what's called inverse operations, so opposite operations. So I've been teaching students that this plus also is a positive, and they go together. So what's the opposite of a positive 4 or adding 4 would be either a negative or subtracting 4. I do like to draw the line through the equal sign. It just helps me keep up with both sides. So if I subtract 4 from both sides, I get 4 minus 4 goes away, and 5 minus 4 is 1. And then on the left side over here, still, I need to bring this down, and I have r divided by 10. Okay, now to get r by itself, I have to do the inverse operation again, okay, which in this case, the 10 is dividing r, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. You can show that with either a star or with a dot. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other, right? Because of the property of equality. 10 divided by 10 is 1. And on the right side, I get 1 times 10, which is 10. Now, I do want students to start checking their work because a lot of students just rush through this and they really don't know if they got it right. So let's go back to our first equation, okay, the original one. So what is 10 divided by 10? Well, 10 divided by 10 is 1. And 1 plus 4 is 5. So we know we got it right. Okay. The second is going to be a different way to solve equations. And in this situation, we're going to use what's called the distributive property. So we're going to take this -4 and distribute it through the parentheses. Now, I like to draw an arrow for that, just so I can keep up with what numbers I multiply. Distribute just means to multiply. I'm going to start with the -4 and multiply that times 9. -4 times +9 is -36. Okay. And then I have a -4 times a -3x. Again, I'm going to group this this operation with the number. They have to stay together. Okay. So a negative times a negative is a positive, and 4 times 3x is 12x. Okay. It's okay if you want to rewrite this as 12x minus 36. You don't have to. Okay, we just need to know that we have to isolate the variable. We have to get x by itself. So next, I'm going to add 36 to both sides because that's the easiest thing to move. Okay. Now we know 36 minus 36 cancels. That's why it moves over here. I'm going to go ahead and bring down my 12x because we haven't done anything with it yet. And 12x equals 36. Now the 12 and the x are together. You can also say that they're being multiplied. And I need to split them up, so we need to divide them. If I divide both sides by 12, I get x equals 3. And once again, I can plug this in and check it. If I have, 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 minus 9 is 0, and -4 times 0 is 0. Okay. So that works. The only other type that I haven't covered on here is when you combine like terms. So when you combine like terms, you just put everything that's the same together. So if I had x plus 2x, well, x plus x is 2x, and 2x plus 2x is 4x. And then I work it just like I do any other by using inverse operations. Once you get all of the terms that are the same together, then you can go on. And there's some of those in the notes for you as well. Okay, we're going to switch over to inequalities now. Okay, remember I solve these the same way that I solve an equation, except for this symbol. I can't change this symbol. I can't even flip it unless I multiply or divide by a negative number on both sides. So I'm going to do this just like I do anything else. I'm going to subtract 12. I'm going to draw my line underneath so I don't get them mixed up. 12 minus 12 is nothing. I'm going to bring down the 11x. I'm going to say 11x is greater than or equal to, I just brought that symbol down, 45 minus 12, right, which is 33. A lot of students make a mistake right here too. Just follow the rule. If you're adding or subtracting numbers, if it's the same sign add the numbers together and keep the sign. If they're different signs, like this is a positive, this is a negative, you're going to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger absolute value of number. So in this case, is 45 or 12 bigger? I'm not looking at the negative here. In this case, 45 is bigger, so our answer is positive. Now I divide both sides by 11 to get the x by itself. 11 divided by 11 is 1, so we're good there. And again, I'm just going to bring this symbol down. I did multiply or divide by a negative number, so I need that. X is greater than or equal to 3. Now I can plug this back in and check it. What this literally means is any number, X can be any number that is either bigger than or greater than or equal to 3. Let's just try 4 just to see if it works. Well, what is 11 times 4? 11 times 4 is 44. If I add 12 to that, well, we know 44 plus 10 is 54, plus 2 is 56. Is 56 bigger than or greater than or equal to 45? Yes, it is. So we know I got it right. And I do want students to box or circle their answers. Again, if you're doing this at home, you can take a picture of it. Please make sure I can see it. It's really hard to see it if you just hold up your notebook, and it's hard to see for you. It's probably hard to see for me too. Now let's go ahead and try this one. 2x minus 9 is greater than or equal to 17. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. 9 minus 9 goes away. I bring down the 2x. And then I add 17 and 9. Okay. We know 17 plus 10 is 27, so it has to be 26. Again, these two are together, so I got to split them apart. Do that, I divide both sides by 2. And x is greater than or equal to, and then 2 goes into 20 10 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times, so 13. Again, I can plug this in and check it. 2 times 13 is 26. 26 minus 9 is 17. Okay, so that works. I could even try any number that's bigger than that, okay, or equal to that. Okay, so we already tried equal. If I did 14, 2 times 14 is 28. 28 minus 9, yeah, that works, right? 19. Okay, let's go ahead and do number 5 now. Number 5 says 8, let me speed this up, I'm sorry. 8 minus 4x is greater than or equal to 12. Okay, so if again, I don't have to rearrange this. I'm just going to go ahead and subtract 8 first. This was another common mistake I saw today. Since there's no sign in front of the 8, it's assumed that it's positive. If there was a sign in front of it that would be the negative symbol, then you do the opposite. So the opposite of a positive is a negative, or subtraction. That's the same thing. So 8 minus 8 cancels, and now we have 12 minus 8. Well, we know 12 minus 8 is 4, and then I'm going to bring down this negative 4x. So negative 4x is greater than or equal to 4. With me? I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. And now, when I divide by a negative, remember, I have to flip that. Now it's less than or equal to. We know that this cancels out, so I get x on the left. And we know 4 goes into 4 one time, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So my answer is negative 1. So x is less than or equal to negative 1. Well, let's just try that. Let's try negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in for x first. So a negative 4 times a negative 2 is a positive 8, and 8 minus 8. 1 second, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so we have, if we plug in a negative 2 here, we get 8 minus 4 times negative 2. Well, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and 8 minus a negative means we're adding, so we get 16. Sorry about that, I got too big of a hurry. Okay, so I hope those problems help you. These are some of the problems that students are going to see on their formative today, as well as you would see on their warm-up. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help. Okay, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. We will pick up back on this skill on Tuesday when we get back. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.